Right.
In three, yeah, we are live now. So,
Mm.
hello everyone. Welcome to the first live stream uh, of my channel. Okay, let me first do the introduction. So, this is the initiative that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take is discuss about IPL and cricket in general. And so today is the first episode that I'm doing with my good friend Alomoy, as you all know from the thumbnail already. He's a cricket analyst from SportsKira. Uh, he's a cricket analyst from SportsKira, and so today we'll be discussing about the how the teams have formed after the mega auction that happened a couple of weeks back, and also we'll be predicting the playing 11, or we'll be giving our views on what could be the playing 11 and etc. So stay tuned, and also if you are here in the stream, kindly do the like button. That is a huge, that is a big superpower that we all have. Please do that. Please like the stream, and it will really motivate us to carry forward such things. Now, without further ado, let me welcome Alomoy. Well, Alomoy, welcome to the stream. You can now unmute yourself and speak. How are
Right.
you?
Thanks. I'm doing fine. Thanks, Shubham. I hope we would have a fantastic discussion. The last couple of days on the IPL auction have been really eventful, and I'm
Mhm.
really looking forward to this discussion where we analyze and dissect about how the teams came up with their choices during the two-day auction, where some hundreds and hundreds of crores of rupees were spent in a matter of 2 days.
True, and I mean some of the players went. What do you say? Like unexpected. It was the
Right, right,
value
right.
that they got. Like I can
I
name a
think
lot.
this year was the ideal example of what auction dynamics can do
Yeah, yeah.
to an
I,
IPL auction. Like this year was the ideal example of that.
true.
So some players going for stupendous values, like of course, good for them. Uh, like I always believe that it's good on the Indian cricket perspective, as many players make a living out of it. So let's go ahead with the teams. I would
Yeah,
say.
I. But before that, I just wanted to ask this to you. What do you
Mhm,
feel about the future of the future of IPL? Indian cricket is in good shape, I feel.
mhm,
But
mhm,
what about the future of IPL? Now that two more teams have come,
mhm.
and do you think there is a shortage of talent? Because apparently 70, at least 70 Indian players need to be there in the IPL. At least that is like seven for each team. So, do we have 70 quality Indian players? That's what I am trying to ask.
Right. See, it's a fantastic question. I feel future of the IPL. I would address in later part of the show. But as
Hmm.
far as this 70 Indian players is concerned, you can see right away a very dynamic change that has happened in this year's auction, as opposed to all the mega auctions or auctions that have taken place in the last 11, 12
Previously.
years. And
Yes.
the difference being the premium at which Indian pacers have gone for. So you
Absolutely.
have players like a Prasidh Krishna, who has played, I would say, hardly a single digit limited overs matches. You have Shivam Mavi, who is yet to, let us say, make his proper debut for India. These kinds. So you have Avesh Khan, who just made his debut the other day against West Indies. So when these players are going in that 8 to 10 CR range, you know that there is actually a shortage of Indian fast bowlers. And
True.
for whatever we have said about Indian fast bowling and their success abroad,
Hmm.
uh, so now luckily we have so many Indian fast bowlers that at least each of the IPL teams could afford one premium Indian fast bowler.
And
But the
it's good
fact
for
is,
them as well that they will get
right,
a
right.
good exposure, very good exposure they'll get. And
Absolutely. And so this is the first thing that comes up, strikes you suddenly, that right, suddenly there's a shortage of talent. Now, the question is, do we have 70 fantastic Indian players to play at the top level? I would say no. As on today, no. Uh, I was feeling that it would have been a better decision once 10 IPL teams came into the fore to have five
Increase
overseas
the
players.
yeah, yeah, to increase the number of overseas
So
players.
I
That
think
is important. I think
uh,
they might actually look into it.
right, because it's not only about 70 Indian players. You see, because 70, you are just talking about the playing 11. So there would be horses
Pro,
for courses
pro.
approach, and there would be changes in the playing 11. So you're talking about some good 80, 90 Indian players, and
Yes.
I would say
More than that, to be
maybe around 100 Indian players from on the in the
right.
top league, right? So
Yes.
for whatever Indian cricket has proceeded over the course of time, I would say that it is yet to reach the position where we can boast about that kind of a supply chain. So I hope this kind of a, so I would look at the good side of it. The good side of it is that you would have such kind of talent coming through, because there's a demand supply mismatch. So maybe we will see in the coming 4 or 5 years, a more solid supply chain in terms of the IPL Indian talent that will come through.
Yeah, we can only hope so,
Hmm.
and hope it turns out good for us. But
Hmm.
also, like we need to make it a five, five overseas per team. We need to make that because then again, some of the overseas very good players are also missing out on IPL. Like Steven Smith. What do you feel? Although his IPL record, I don't really enjoy his IPL record, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I might be wrong, but what do you feel about Steven
See,
Smith?
there are some again, as I was saying, there are some auction dynamics that are actually peculiar. So Stephen Smith, in order to like give our spectators an idea of how stupendous the fact that Stephen Smith has been unsold at the auction is, we are just a moment ago we were talking about some 70, 80 Indian players, right? 70, 80 playing 11 players. So let's say we were
Right.
talking about 100 Indian players at the top level. Now
Yes.
it needs to be kept in mind that, do you want me to believe that Suresh Raina is nowhere in the top 100 Indian
Oh,
players?
don't get me
Okay.
started on that.
Huh. So
I
so
mean,
it it's
some
it's
of the
it's
like
it's
many of
not
the
simply
teams
that.
had that budget of 2 crore. They could simply
Absolutely.
have taken him. Like it's a bonus. Like it's a bonus to have Suresh Raina in the squad.
Right.
I really
And
can't believe why.
absolutely. And with that kind of an international experience, you could have batted him at that number six, number seven position. Mind you, a team, when we will get into the dissections of the individual teams, we will find there, for a lot of teams,
Yes,
a
they are. He's a
there's
squad.
a
There is a place
gap in that
for.
number six position where they would want to slot in players. So then again, would Steven Smith have been sold if there were five overseas players? You never know, because the auction
Yeah,
dynamics,
because
the
any of the
scout.
teams,
Ha,
anyways, the
ha.
teams have 8 opposite players per squad. So it's good.
Absolutely.
Okay, anyway, let us get
Hmm.
started with the analysis then. We'll go team by team. I'll
Right,
share
right.
my screen. Where that happened. It'll take some time. Meanwhile, what else do you make from the auction? Or anything else you want
Right,
to?
right, right. In fact, going around that, what we were talking about just a while back, I just take a cue from that of Steve Smith's discussion. So
Yeah.
you see, there is a very, I would say, relevant pattern among which
Mm-hmm.
the overseas players were picked. And there is a reason why, if you see Stephen Smith, despite his exploits in the
Mm-hmm.
international scenario, was not picked. So IPL teams, and quite rightly so, are going for uh,
All
overseas
rounders.
pacers, overseas pacers,
Okay.
and seam bowling all rounders. Seam bowling
Symbolic.
all rounders who are as rare, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
as platinum and gold in the auction market. So
True.
they are going for seam bowling all rounders, because in India we don't have that. And you have overseas fast bowlers, the likes of Rabada, Ferguson. Those people went for a premium, and
Mm-hmm.
impact players, mind you. Nicholas Puran was terribly out of form just before the auction, so he went for 10.75, 11 CR. So these are the three kinds of players the IPL teams were looking for in the auction. And the kind of player Steve Smith is, he is an
Mm-hmm.
accumulator, and you get those kinds of players in the
Okay.
Indian domestic scenario. those Indian
True.
domestic players
True.
can come in at number 3, number 4, and can give you that accumulator kind of a role, which and score you those 50 runs of 41 balls kind of a scenario. And this is exactly where I feel Steve Smith missed out.
Okay. Okay. And any idea, anything you want to add about the spinners, that is spinners or the leg spinners to be precise?
Right.
Did
I
any?
think it's very interesting that how Chahal and Kuldeep, both of
Mhm.
them went relatively cheap, right? Uh,
Yes. Yes.
basically, just a couple of years ago, there was this hue and cry about leg spin, wrist spin, and suddenly, in a matter of a couple of years, Kuldeep is nowhere. I would say in the international scenario, though he played a match, he was absolutely horrendous with his length against West Indies. Chehel, I would say, is good enough. I mean, is in the international scenario playing, but I would say this has again more got to do with the franchise's confidence point of view. So if people are again, so Ashwin has played international cricket against just a couple of series ago. I would say the focus is again turning from wrist spin to finger spin.
Mhm.
But what I would say is excessive focus on either of them is not
Not
right.
good.
Not
Not
right,
right.
because
Not right.
the objective at the end of the day is to pick up wickets. Yes, you want to be attacking, but you don't want to be attacking in a way that you concede 54 runs in 4 overs.
True. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think we can continue now.
Okay,
We'll
so we were
say
on.
we'll start with Kolkata then.
Right, right, right.
This is the squad.
Uh-huh. So yeah, so I was talking about Shreyas Iyer.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is Shreyas Iyer is the best buy for Kolkata because you are getting a captain who is
Captain. Yeah.
27 years old. He
Just for 12 crores.
Right, just for 12 crores, and not only, mind you, we are. I won't be very concerned about the value because here
Mm-hmm.
we are talking about an investment in Shreyas Iyer. If everything goes all right for the next 10 years, much like what CSK did for Dhoni, picked him up at
Dhoni and
27,
yeah,
28 years old. So I would say that's a fantastic buy. Pat Cummins is a
totally agree.
good buy. Pat Cummins, I would say, is a good buy at 7.25, primarily because of
Yeah,
how.
because anyway the teams are looking for, as you said, the pace all rounders. The
Right. I think
he's
if you see analogous bowlers in the auction, you have
mm-hmm.
Trent Bolt, you have Lockie Ferguson, you have Kagiso Rabada. All of them were more expensive than Cummins. More importantly, Cummins comes with his batting ability, and which makes him a good
True.
candidate at number 8. So
Yes.
I think getting Cummins was a good buy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so these are two good buys. Now, regarding the rest of the auction for
Yeah.
Kolkata, I think it was a bit patchy. So they have assimilated, I would say, what would say, a decent squad, half
Decent
decent
squad,
squad on paper, but the balance is
but
somewhere missing.
that too at the end of the auction, like right at the very end, they picked up like Mohammad Nabi and who else it picked. At the very
Umesh
end, they
Yadav.
picked some Umesh Yadav.
Mohammad
Yeah,
Nabi and Umesh
Umesh Yadav.
Yadav.
So
So you see this squad, there is something that stands out immediately. Okay, out of the 10 teams, you see there is something that stands out for Kolkata immediately.
I think it is
You
wicket
have,
keeper.
yes, wicketkeeper I'm going to address when I'm going to get
Mm-hmm.
to the playing 11. But what stands out immediately is three Indian batters: Shreyas Iyer, Venkatesh Iyer, and Ajinkya Rahane.
Yes, yes. Well, like
So,
while I was trying to make my own 11, I was even
hmm,
stuck there as well. Like, yeah,
right,
whom do you
right,
pick?
right. So this is, I would say, a fantastic thing to have a solid Indian core, and
Mm-hmm.
Ajinkya Rahane, for whatever slump he is going through, for whatever other form he is going through, makes my playing 11. Uh, if you get to the on the wicketkeeper point of view, I think they just miscalculated Puran a bit, because they were relying a lot on getting Nicholas Puran at a
They
cheaper
went,
price.
yeah, they went too far with Puran. I was like, at that moment, how will you afford Puran for 10 crores when you have 17 crores in your bag, and that too you have only 8 players in the squad. Like you have to pick another 8 players for the balance 7 crores.
Right,
So
right,
you need to pick
absolutely.
a. Thank God they
Absolutely. It was
Nicholas
scary.
Puran didn't get
It
him.
was scary, but I can understand why KKR went for Puran till that far. Russell's form last season as well as the season before it was a bit patchy. So they wanted somebody at that position at 5'6" to pair up with Russell to carry out the finishing duties, finishing, let's say, flourish. So that's why they went for Puran. So that's why wicketkeeper in this KKR squad looks more of an afterthought for me, because Sam Billings is a good player, solid player, but Sam Billings, Sheldon Jackson, on a good day, I won't have either of them on my playing 11. I
Wicket keeper could be a problem, but Alex Hills does wicket keeping, and also I think Nitish Rana also does wicket keeping. Does he?
Nitish Rana is more, I would say, more of an amateur keeper, but Alex Hales, I have
Hmm.
seen him keeping. I think he keeps in the PSL.
Okay.
So I would be confident of Alex Hale's abilities as a keeper, and
Hmm.
I think if Alex Hales can keep,
Mhm.
the balance of the KKR squad becomes better. Because then you can play Alex Hales, Pat Cummins, and Andre Russell. So you
Okay,
can
then let
play
us
all three.
go straight to the squad. The playing
Right,
11.
right,
So who is
right.
your number one? Who is the one at number one?
So
Who
I
did you
would
call?
have Venkatesh Iyer and Alex Hales as my openers,
All
and
right, so
Alex
Venkatesh
Hales,
Iyer,
uh, right, will be my wicket keeper. Right,
wicketkeeper. Okay, great.
right. Then I'll have Rahane at three.
I think
So
Rahane at three.
right,
Yeah,
and
given
then
his recent, I think he scored a century in the Ranji Trophy,
right. He scored a
and I think
century in Ranji
we
Trophy.
are a bit too harsh with Rahane overall for in terms of Indian cricket.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
I
he should get a
huh,
place at
huh,
least
huh, huh. And
for the initial matches.
specifically in IPL, I would say Rahane makes the cut any day.
Any
So
day, yes.
so there is no doubt about it. With such a solid, rich Indian experience, you have to have him in the playing 11. Number four, I would have Shreyas Iyer.
Okay. And
Uh,
he's, oh, of course, he's a captain. He's already
he's the captain. Then
decided
you
that he will
have
be the captain.
at number five, you have Nitish Rana. So Nitish
Yes.
Rana,
So
I was not very happy for of KKR spending that much on
to
Nitish Rana.
yes,
But to be very honest, I would say again, because the 10 team dynamics, you see players like Nitish Rana, Rahul Tewatia, those are the kinds of players who earn the premium. Like Nitish Rana, I would say now at so after Nitish Rana, I have
mhm,
a bit of a debatable choice because I don't have Sunil Narayan in my playing 11. So Sunil Narayan is the, let's say, the blue-eyed boy of KKR. But okay, so I'd finish my playing 11, and then I would explain why Sunil Narayan is a squad in the squad is a bit of an anomaly, provided how KKR picked their squad. So I have Mohammad Nabi at six
yeah, I'll go to Mohammad Nabi at six.
and
Okay.
Russell at
So
seven.
if I feel if KKR feels there is a place for like Sunil Narin might be an alternative of Mohammad Nabi.
Right, right.
Do you
In
feel?
fact, I am more or less sure that Narayan will be starting in the playing 11 for KKR. But I'll tell you what happens if Narayan comes in. So you have Andre Russell at seven, right? Of course,
Okay.
Andre
Okay.
Russell at
Let us go
seven.
to them. Number
Uh,
seven. Number eight
then you have
is Pat
Cummins,
Cummins.
Pat Cummins at eight, and then you
Shivam
have
Mabi you have to pick because you went how far like
there is no
seven
other Indian
crores.
pacer. Right. As I said, and then you have Umesh Yadav. Right. And
And
finally you
Varun
have Varun
Chakravarti.
Chakravarti. So see, the problem is the moment. So here you have Mohammad Nabi and Andre Russell as your finishers. I think
Okay.
Nabi is having a very good
Better.
PSL. Uh,
Okay.
Nabi is better with the bat, but the
Mhm.
moment you replace Nabi with Narayan, you have to put Russell at six, and then Narayan comes at seven, and then you
And
have
there is
Cummins
a
at
uncertainty as well with Narin's batting. You
Right.
never know because you can rely more on Nabi than Narin regarding batting.
Right, right. Nabi is a very solid batter. I think he is one of the best bargain buys of KKR in the auction. But now look, once we have this playing 11, what happens? So in the top six, right?
Hmm.
So in the top six, you have Venkatesh Iyer and Mohammad Nabi. So
Okay.
Venkatesh Iyer is your regular 2 to 3 over bowler in
Yes,
a
I
T20
in the
match.
comments, Royston, my friend from my previous company, he's pointed out Venkatesh Iyer helps as a sixth bowler, and it's right.
Absolutely
He can
right.
give you like 2, 3 easily, 2, 3 overs. He can easily give you, and
Absolutely.
also he can take wickets, like we saw in the
Exactly.
last
So
game
he's a he's he's
against
a
West
golden
Indies.
arm. In fact, he bowled. I was very impressed with his bowling in the first season. To be very honest. So
I mean, the first, like the previous season, half of the season, we were like KKR is nowhere making the playoffs, and then
mhm.
Venkatesh Iyer comes in and the entire
Right, right,
scenario
right.
changes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I would. So in this 11, you see, Iyer gives you 2 3 overs. You have a
Hmm.
wicket keeper in your top six. That is Alex Hales, and then you have Mohammad Nabi. So Mohammad Nabi gives you 4 overs every day, every match, right? Mohammad Nabi gives you 4 overs, 0 for 24. That's his worst performance that he can give. So you
And also,
have
he'll contribute with the bat.
absolutely. So you have 6 overs as well
Hmm.
as a wicket keeper in your top six, and you have five other bowlers, five including Andre Russell. So what I am trying to come to is you have to have 4 overs between Russell, Nabi, and Venkatesh Iyer. So that is a lot of redundancy. So you have around 7 bowlers in your playing 11. You have
Hmm.
batting up in Pat Cummins, that is number 8.
Okay.
So that is providing you a good batting depth, as
Hmm.
well as it is providing you bowling depth in terms of as much as 7 bowling options. People talk about 6 full-time bowling options getting into the T20 game. So this is more than redundancy for KKR. The problem is
Well, there are 8 bowling options in this squad. I mean, Nitish Rana, why are we missing him?
Nitish Rana, of course. Nitish Rana on a good day will pitch in with his off spinners. So this is more. I would say a very balanced KKR squad. But
I mean, a
yes,
reliable team based on what the squad they have picked is. But
mm,
my question here is, what like are you looking for any? Do we have any good replacements at KKR? Like if
uh,
Umesh Yadav doesn't perform, whom
right, right,
are you looking at?
right. See, there is
I mean,
one
once
lad
again.
I'm pretty impressed about in KKR, who is
Mhm.
in KKR this season. That is Rasik Salam from
Okay.
Kashmir.
Okay. Yeah.
So Rasik Salam is a good player. He had his issues with some unfortunate incidents. Not getting into that, but he is returning to the fold. He is practicing. He can bowl fast. So this is one player I am really looking at, considering how KKR has built Shivam Mavi and Nagarkoti over the last 3 4 years. Rasik
Okay.
Salam from Kashmir is somebody I'm really looking at.
He has
In
very
terms
good pace. I mean,
Right, right, right. In terms of replacements, of course, they have got Tim Saudi to replace Pat Cummins. In fact, Pat Cummins does not come till the first or second week of IPL. So Tim Saudi will be his backup.
okay.
Uh, there is one more underrated good player, I would say, who can serve as a backup of Russell. That is Chamika Karunaratne of Sri Lanka. So
Okay.
he's a decent all rounder, I would say. He would not give you 4 overs every match. He would
Hmm.
maybe give you an over here, or maybe on a good day a couple of overs. But at least we have a backup of Russell here. So that
Okay.
way I would say it is good.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
backup of Russell, I think with Karunaratne it is manageable. KKR can definitely manage.
Right, right, right. And in fact, there is one more player I would be really looking at, who has fallen a bit off the radar, but
Hmm.
Anukul Roy is somebody who is a very
Okay.
economical
Yes.
bowler. He is a left arm spinner, bowls very much. His bowling is very much like Aksar Patel, Ravindra
Okay.
Jadeja. balls to the stumps accurate, will give you, let's say, 4 overs almost every match. He'll hardly take the tonking from the batsman. So
Hmm.
there are some promising ones in the KKR squad,
So
but
you are saying
Mhm.
against DC there is a good chance Anukul Roy is playing because they have like how many left-handers in their team, or does that change now?
That changes. That we would get to know once we get to the squad
DC,
of
yeah.
DC.
Hmm.
So I would, what I can recollect is there are, as of now, you have, on the top of the mind, two left-handers. Obviously, you have David Warner and Rishabh Pant coming in. But in this playing 11 of Kolkata that I gave, as well as in the squad,
Hmm. Hmm.
there is only one problem that I would find out, that I would have, that is the death bowling. Death bowling
Let's
is
bowling.
something
Okay.
that is an issue. They have relied on Sunil Narain and Varun Chakravarti in the second half of the last season to
Hmm.
deliver their death bowling skills. But in this squad, we don't have Sunil Narain. So then maybe Shivam Mavi needs to step up. Let's say
I mean the
whom
squad that we picked, but we will have to look at KKR, what they
Right,
pick,
right, right.
what they feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would feel that if they go with Sunil Narain, they may have to replace Umesh Yadav with Rinku Singh, who will be a floater for cases where, so it's an extra batsman. So
Hmm.
Rinku Singh is somebody who KKR has rated highly. We are yet to see his performances on the field, but I
Well,
would say,
he again got a century recently, very recently in the Ranji matches.
right. I feel Rinku Singh is a decent player who can play in that 100-120 strike rate. He is.
Okay, yes,
I would find him his technique very difficult if we take him as a finisher coming in.
definitely, definitely. He doesn't
Uh,
definitely fit into the finisher schools, I
right,
feel.
right, right, right,
All right. So
mm,
can we move to the next team? Which one do you want to
right,
pick?
right. Anyone. I would be okay with anyone.
Like Kolkata, I picked at the beginning because both of us are KKR fans. Are you still
Right,
a
right,
KKR
right.
fan?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that's why I put
mhm.
them at the top.
I think we
But
can go serially. You can start with Delhi.
all right, we'll go to Delhi then.
Hmm.
Here is the squad of Delhi, and I
Right.
have placed it like capped and uncapped. I have differentiated, and I also have mentioned the overseas players, and
Uh-huh.
this helps to find like as a first bowler they don't have any like they have experienced first bowlers in the squad. This is why I made this in this format. But anyway, you
Mhm.
take it
I
ahead.
think this is primarily a good format, in fact, to work on. So regarding Delhi, I think their buy of the auction was David Warner. Getting David Warner at that price is very very
Criminal,
fortunate. Is very very fortunate for
criminal.
them. And the reason why they got it was because franchises were looking to save purse, and
Mhm.
that way I would say David Warner and Prithvi Shaw is an opening combination I am really looking to for this year's IPL. This if both of them fire, it will be a treat to watch. It will be an absolute treat to watch.
Okay, so,
So
should we directly go to the playing 11 or
let's go to the
predictions?
playing 11 and talk about I mean, take it from there.
Yeah, yeah, that
Uh-huh.
is better. So Prithvi Shaw is opening with David
Uh-huh,
Warner,
right.
and
Right.
then comes
So
Mitchell Marsh.
so I would say David Warner is so basically they Delhi lost Dhawan to Punjab. So
Yes.
Warner fills in more than that void. So you have a left-right opening combination going in with Prithvi Shaw. Both of them good, decent attacking players. Mitchell Marsh, they have. I mean, DC has picked as a replacement for Iyer. Now Mitchell Marsh performed fantastic way in the T20 World Cup. In fact, he was the sole reason. He was the sole bearer of Australia, to be very honest.
Yeah,
But
it is.
yeah,
That is true. But then again, my problem with Mitchell Marsh is in IPL. I'm talking about IPL that
Mhm.
you never know when he will be fit, when he will not be fit.
That's the only problem. The fitness issues of Mitchell Marsh is an issue, and the moment you are moving away from Mitchell Marsh and looking at possible backups that
Mm-hmm.
these DC may have, you are looking
Mm-hmm.
at okay, you are looking at Yash Dhul, you are looking at Ashwin Hebbar, decent players, but still unproven at these levels. Yash Dhul recently scored a couple of centuries in the Ranji
I mean,
Trophy in his Ranji Trophy
he is only the
debut.
third player to
Right, right, right.
give this
Uh,
bit.
Absolutely. I think decent, but you cannot rely on them as backups, so to say. So Mitchell Marsh, okay. So let's keep him in the playing 11. I think he
Yeah.
would definitely
Okay.
start off. Uh, right now,
Next we have
number
Rahman Powell
four.
slash
Right,
Mandeep
right.
Singh. Okay.
Right. Rovman Powell, I think, had a fantastic outing against India. My only
Especially the
point.
second T20.
Right, right, right. He had a very good outing. He was hitting those like of the bottom of the bat, and he was clearing Eden Gardens. So I would say he's a no brainer pick in the Delhi squad as far as he's concerned. So the reason why I have had Mandeep Singh is because I have somebody else later just to adjust the overseas players
Okay.
configuration.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So next, I think we move on to Rishabh Pant, of course.
And he's the
He is
captain.
the captain and the wicket
I
keeper.
forgot to mention that.
Right,
That's
that's
alright. He's
okay.
the captain.
He is the
And
captain.
the wicket keeper will be he as well.
Rishabh Pant, he'll be
No
the wicket
brainer.
keeper.
Okay.
Right, right.
Sarfaraz Khan is at number six.
Sarfaraz Khan has, I think, also scored a century just in the Ranji Trophy in the first league of matches that got played. So Sarfaraz Khan, I think, is a decent player. He has been a bit inconsistent in the IPL level. He just needs to get a longer run
Mhm.
and
Okay.
needs to have the captain's confidence. So he has moved
Yeah.
around the order a bit. He has batted at 4. He has batted at 6. He just needs to find his feet, and he just needs to be given time. And
Okay.
in this Delhi squad, I think he'll be having time. So we can move ahead.
Okay. We'll move ahead to Shardul Thakur at number seven.
Uh, so Shardul Thakur, I think, is a decent number 7 batter. He in fact is of the genre of Deepak Chahar.
Yeah.
He
Even Delhi went for Deepak Chahar in the auction, I think.
I think Delhi would be heaving a sigh of relief because Deepak Chahar is severely injured in the last T20.
Well,
So
I saw that live. I mean,
hmm, hmm,
you
hmm.
might. It was
Right.
really
So
we were like from the I'm talking about the third T20 international where
hmm,
I
hmm,
was at the Eden Gardens, and
hmm,
when Deepak Chahar couldn't, he got that nickel. I mean,
hmm,
nickel at the and I we were like the up to match guy. He's
hmm.
gone,
Right.
but
Because Deepak
thankfully,
Chahar has been an integral part. I think India is planning for Deepak Chahar at 7 in the T20 World Cup, and if they can do that, I mean, if Deepak Chahar can live up to that expectations,
Mhm.
India is going to go with a fantastic balanced team in the T20 World Cup later this year.
Okay, we'll
So
talk more
let's
about
move
that
ahead.
in future episodes.
Right.
Then we have Aksar Patel.
Aksar
I
Patel.
mean,
So straight away you see something. Aksar Patel comes in at 8. So straight away you have like more than
eight
decent
like
batting.
batting. Yeah,
8
batting
batsmen
depth is
because
very good.
absolutely. So this is a fantastic part of DC squad this year. Like then you have Naughty at 9. Of course he'll be the leader of the bowling attack, leader of the pace attack.
Hmm.
And then we move on. The next player, right? We have
Okay, now I see
Khalil
why.
Ahmed. So see, the idea is DC is a franchise, or rather, I would say Rishabh Pant as a captain. What I have found is
Mhm.
in the last season as well as the season before, always has preferred two overseas fast bowlers to as the option, because then
Okay.
what happens is you can have. It's not like you are saving the overseas fast bowlers option two at the power play and two at the slog over. So that is not happening. So
Okay.
I would say that that is, I mean, that way, if they want to play two fast bowlers, you have Enric Nortier and Lungi NJD.
Hmm.
Uh, Otherwise, if and then you have to play Mandeep Singh up at the top, and that is
Yeah.
one.
So if power,
Huh.
you're saying that if Robman Powell is playing, then Khalil Ahmed plays, and
Right,
vice
right, right.
versa. Okay.
My choice would be first choice 11 would be to play Rovman Powell, because otherwise what happens is you have Rishabh Pant as the sole finisher. Sarfaraz Khan a bit
All right.
patchy. Mandeep Singh
Yeah.
again a bit
The finishing doesn't look
incompetitiveness.
so reliable. Yeah.
Right, right, right. So I would have Rovman Powell and would play Khalil. Khalil is a decent bowler who he bowls in the power play. He's left armor, adds variety to the I mean squad.
Squad. Yeah.
uh, the only problem that I let's say find, let's say that would be nitpicking. I think Delhi had so let me first say Delhi is one of the best teams. I think Delhi, at least on paper after the auction,
Yeah.
is
On
looking one
paper,
of
one of the
the
best teams. Yeah.
top two teams to me on paper, mind you, right? So
Okay.
that way I would say that Delhi is looking very good. So if I have to
Very balanced to be.
right,
If you
right,
look
very
at it,
balanced.
very
So
balanced.
if you see you have options, bowling options. So you have so five full-time bowlers. You have Shardul
Mm-hmm.
Thakur, Akshar Patel, Naughty, Khalil Ahmed, Kuldeep Yadav. Then
Mm-hmm.
you have Mitchell Marsh and Rovman Powell. So so you have the sixth and seventh bowling option. So again, you are stepping in onto the field with seven bowlers and eight batsmen. That's what you want at T20 international. The problem I would say with DC is that this
Yeah.
again I'm nitpicking. The problem is the spin department. Aksar Patel is a good bowler, is a good containing bowler. Uh, they are relying a lot
Wicket
on
taking spinner you are talking about.
right. They are relying a lot on Kuldeep Yadav. So mind you, they don't have any wicket taking overseas spinner as well. So they are relying a lot on Kuldeep Yadav,
Or will.
who has not been on in his best, even in the domestic as well as international scenario. So who has they got as a backup for Kuldeep Yadav? I think it's Praveen Dubey. Right. Praveen Dubey is the other backup of Kuldeep Yadav. So then
Okay.
again, Praveen Dubey is not the kind of a player who has made his presence felt in the IPL level. So
Mm-hmm.
if Kuldeep has a bad season, then DC's middle overs will be a bit of a problem in terms of bowling. This is middle overs will be a bit of a bottleneck. They may have to work around, their combinations a bit. They may have to replace Kuldeep Yadav with Chetan Sakaria. So then
Mm-hmm.
they get to bowl Lungi NGD in the middle overs and control with pace. But then again, the form of Kuldeep will play a huge role in DC's fortunes this year.
Okay. So from this DC, I think we'll move to the next team. All right. But before that,
Mm.
I saw a lot of people have joined and then left and again joined back. So please like the stream. I mean, you can watch it later as well. It will be there. But please do like the stream. It will really motivate us in what we are
Absolutely,
doing.
absolutely. In fact, let's go
Right.
to Mumbai now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. Mumbai is the most interesting team I found in the IPL 2022 auction. They came in with a unidirectional strategy. They needed two players, as simple as that. They needed two players, Ishan Kishan and Jofra Archer. They were flexible with everybody else. They needed two players, Ishan Kishan and Jofra Archer. And mind you, I don't feel MI spent 15, 16 CR on Ishan Kishan because of his
Is a
wicket keeping or his batting skills. It's
okay.
not 15, 16 CR for his wicket keeping or batting skills. They are
Okay.
seeing Ishan Kishan as their next leader after Rohit Sharma.
Oh,
So
I see.
that's
Yeah,
that's
makes
that's
sense.
my
Makes sense.
that's my gut feel about it, because you could have got someone like a Nicholas Puran at 11 CR. You
Mm-hmm.
had like more than decent enough wicket keepers. You have QDK at 6.5 CR, 7 CR, who has played previously for South Africa for MI.
Am I?
So if they would have wanted actually to go for somebody who is a decent wicketkeeper bat, they could have gone for
Mm-hmm.
cheaper, more decent options. But they have gone for Asian Kishan, and I feel that they are looking at the next gen, breeding the next gen of leaders. So
It's fantastic. I mean, it never struck me. Yeah, you are right.
So
This
that is
definitely
that
is why
is
they went.
so
Because
that is
they,
that
the
is.
only other time I think they went for over 10 crore,
Mhm.
or I think that was for Rohit Sharma for 15 crore.
Yeah, I would think that I think in the middle phase there were a few others who also exceeded the 10 CR barrier, but you are right. They went all out that much when they were getting Rohit Sharma from DC in the 2011 auction. So
Yeah, I
it
mean
was
not
Deccan
not 10
Chargers
crore.
back
I
then.
think 15 crore. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Deccan Chargers. It was Deccan Chargers back then. So Rohit played
Mm-hmm.
for Deccan Chargers till 2010. Just before
10.
the
Yeah.
2011 season, MI got him, and they went
Mm.
this all out for Rohit
Right.
Sharma.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say that now the okay. So I appreciate that strategy that it's unidirectional. They had clarity regarding the thought process, but I am a bit iffy about as far as the squad makeup of MI is concerned. I
All right.
think
Then let
okay.
us
So
hop into that.
let's go to the
Uh,
squad makeup.
this
Right.
is
So this is a very standard opening combination. Rohit
yeah.
Sharma and Ishan
Deval
Kishan.
Brevis is great. I mean, I don't know why no other team I mean, went ahead with
Right, right, right. I I
Brevis. I mean,
I saw him at the under 19 World Cup, and I feel Devold Brevis is one for the future. But again, the reason I think a lot of
mhm.
teams didn't go for him at the auction is because he's still untested commodity at the even South African
I
first class level.
all right.
So
Yeah, that is
he's yet
fair.
to
That is
play
fair.
South Africa. So basically, what happens is you see players like Prithvi Shaw. So
Hmm.
so he was an under 19 giant.
Yeah,
But what happens is the number of the consistency of bowling, the hard lengths or the international and the IPL level often gets struck on the under 19 players. But having said all of that, Dewald Brevis is somebody I have hopes from, and I would really look forward to MI giving him that consistent opportunity at number three, at the top of the order, and he can well become, if all everything goes all right, he can well become maybe 4 5 years ahead what AB de Villiers was to RCB.
RCB.
So
Okay, yeah.
right, right, right. So
Well,
I would
he
have
is the baby
Devil Devil
EBD.
Brevis. Yeah, yeah. Would have Devil Brevis at three.
All right. So next we have Surya Kumar Yadav at
Right,
4.
right. And
These are
then we
no
have.
brand. Like this looks so much like the last time.
Right. The problem starts then onwards.
Yeah.
See, the problem is you have your top. So, except Devil Brevis, you had the four players last year as well, right? You had Surya Kumar Yadav, you had Karen Pollard, you have Ishan Kishan, you had Rohit Sharma. The problem, I think, for MI this year is that they haven't got replacements for the Pandya brothers, and this is something that I mean, MI with their rich heritage, I'm sure somebody will come up as a replacement for Pandyas, both Hardik and Krunal. But this is one thing I would say, there is a gaping hole in the squad, because after Pollard, so you have Pollard
Hmm.
at five, then you have Tim David. Tim David is a has played very well in the CPL, has played very well in the PSL, but Team David is yet to prove himself in the IPL. He
IPL.
had
Yeah.
he played one match for RCB, didn't look very comfortable. Though one match is not a good basis to judge on, but didn't look
Judge.
very
Yeah.
comfortable. So I would say Tim David at six. Then you have somebody like a Daniel
Daniel
Sam
Sams
at
at 7.
seven. Okay,
Oh.
but who will provide you the finishing kick? You still have to rely on somebody like a Surya Kumar Yadav, a Karan Pollard, who is coming in at 4 5. So the finishing kick is something I'm not very sure. The middle order has a bit of a soft underbelly for
Hmm.
MI. Daniel Sams, mind you, is a good will give you a good balance. He's a decent all rounder at
Hmm.
the T20 level. Then again comes the problem that
The
happens when
balance.
you right, right. Uh, then again happens the problem what happens if you go when you, because they went for Jofra Archer. Now
Okay.
this season the bowling looks very weak for MI. because typically what used to happen in the last seasons is they used to have a Trent Bolt to bowl in the power play.
Okay.
So they didn't need Bumrah to come in at the power play. They had Bumrah's overs at the slog
Mm-hmm.
to defend against, to defend when the opposition was chasing. So now, who are the ones they have to bowl in the power play? Daniel Sams, okay. Jaydev Unadkat, maybe. Basil Thampi, again, not here and thereabouts. Uh, the pacer slot is something I think that MI is really missing out on. And what happens is then Bumrah needs to come in the power plays, and then you don't have a reliable slog overs to end on. So
You didn't.
I
You didn't pick. Interestingly, you didn't pick Archer.
right, because Archer is not available. Jofra Archer is not available for the
But I
2000.
think he might. Oh yeah, yeah. He's not available for this year. He's looking. There, yeah, yeah. That is true. That is true.
So right, so we may have a different
Anyway,
team
during the
here.
IPL, ashes happen and all those things. So Australian and
Ha, ha.
English players are always.
And more importantly, you see, Jofra Archer. Okay, so I would be very happy if the bait works out for Bombay. But what
Mhm.
happens is Jofra Archer is so what he is undergoing elbow surgery for a fast bowler
That
of the
that
second.
to the his bowling arm.
Right, exactly.
That to
So
his
I'm not,
bowling arm.
yeah, I'm not very sure of Archer's how strong he'll come back and those kinds of things going ahead. But it's a
Mhm.
huge risk. More importantly, there is one more gaping dot that I find here, that is the spin department.
Okay.
So Mayank Markande has been with MI in the past. He has performed well, but let's say he's still to make his mark consistently in the Syed Mushtaq Ali. Murugan Ashwin again has been there and thereabouts. They
Hmm.
do not have what happens is the bowling attack I feel is dependent a lot on Bumrah. uh, Daniel Sams is a good slog overs, is a decent slog overs bowler. If he comes up and bowls good on these Indian pitches, I then it would help Bumrah. But then the bowling attack is dependent a lot on Bumrah. I'm not
Once
very
again, go back to the entire squad,
right,
and yeah,
right. So you have somebody like a Timal Mills. I'm not very sure. If you have to play Timal Mills, then you have to bench somebody like a Tim David, and the replacement for Tim David would be somebody like a Tilak Verma and Anmol Preet Singh. Those are decent domestic players, mind you, but those are you see again accumulators. So they would give you that
yeah,
100 kind of a strike rate.
true.
Uh, not
Not the
very well.
finishing. Yeah, the finishing
Right.
anyway. It looks skeptical for my mind.
But somebody has to play out of their skin if MI has to reach the playoff
The
stage this year.
playoffs this year. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So from MI, we will move to Bangalore.
Right. Let's move to Bangalore.
Faf. They
Right.
got Faf,
Right. Bangalore. I think they were
and
very
I
clear about getting
I think
Faf.
he might be the captain as well. No.
Right. He is the captain. They have declared. In fact, RCB
Oh, they
has
are
declared.
captain. Okay, I didn't follow that.
Yeah,
I didn't follow that. Okay.
RCB has declared Faf to be the captain. I think
Mhm.
it has got a lot to do with how with the equation that Virat has with AB as well as Faf. So I think that works out well. There is something that you'll
Yeah.
immediately note about the Bangalore squad, right? For the first time, I would say since maybe the 2008 IPL or 2009 IPL season, Bangalore
Hmm.
batting looks weak. This is
Yeah.
something
It was
I
always their
I
bowling that that
right.
let them down, but this time batting looks, yeah, weak,
Batting looks
because
weak. I never thought that I have to say this for Bangalore, but their batting
there
is
is
looking pretty
no
weak.
Indian batsman other than Kohli. I mean,
Kohli and
in
Karthik. So Karthik is the next Indian batsman whom you are looking at,
Karthik, yeah, I mean,
right?
wicket keeper batsman is Karthik, and then there is Kohli, and then
Mhm.
you don't have any
Then there's anybody, nobody.
quality. I mean, quality. I'm not judging, but um, yeah,
Hmm. This is
This
something
is
that that is a cause of worry, and this is where you see. So let's go to the playing 11, and we will
yeah.
see the keeping path. So Duplessis opens with Faf opens with Kohli. There is no doubt on this. Faf is
There's no
opening
doubt
with
on
Kohli.
this. Yeah.
Then you have Maxwell. I would take Maxwell at three. Mahipal Lomror is, I think, this 4 and 5. How I have picked is Mahipal Lomror and Dinesh Karthik. Both of them are decent players of spin bowling.
Okay.
Okay, so Lomror and Karthik is going to handle the middle overs.
Hmm.
So that is how I have picked both of them. Maxwell comes in at three. Maxwell gets the maximum number of overs. So
Overs.
right. So and straight away you see you are having Lomrer in your Mohipal Lomrer in your first playing 11 for RCB. And when you see the top seven, the obvious thing that stands out is there is no finishing kick, and you immediately see the importance of where AB de Villiers was to the RCB squad. AB de Villiers at number five is took this squad to a different level, right?
Can we
So
not? Can we not replay? I mean, interchange Maxwell and Lomroad's position, or
we can of course. The only point is we would
then
want
Maxwell
up.
doesn't get good amount of overs to bat?
Right, right. That is the only point because you need to have somebody from let's say a number three position. A player like Maxwell need let's say I would love him to face the maximum number of deliveries as far as they are concerned. So a squad like this thing. So that is the major reason I have taken. Okay, so let us go in order. So we were looking at Mahipal Lobrer at four, then you have Karthik
Hmm.
at five. So four and
Hmm.
five are to rule the middle overs with of spin.
Okay.
Then I have picked. Okay, so I am going to go to Rutherford later. So I have then picked Shahbaz Ahmed. Shahbaz Ahmed is I mean finished this match for Bengal only yesterday against
Yeah.
Baroda,
Yeah.
which
Yeah. Yeah.
is
I mean, it was
supreme batting.
unbelievable. Like,
Unbelievable fourth innings chase of over 350 is mind blowing. Shahbaz Ahmed finished it, and I think he
Abhishek, along with
yeah,
Abhishek.
Abhishek Podel, Abhishek Podel, right. So both of them finished it. I would say it is one of the best chases that I have seen on the
Yeah.
fourth
I
innings.
mean, I followed the match because I couldn't see the match. I don't know whether it was shown live.
It
But I
was
followed the
streamed
match.
live. Right. Mhm.
Where was it?
It was on social media page. It was
Oh,
streamed
okay.
live. Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
So that way, I was having a brief look. So it is I was really impressed by the batting skills. Shahbaz Ahmed needs to be given a longer run at the IPL level. I think he showed his mettle last time when he played for RCB. So there is that is one thing. Now,
Yeah.
importantly, you will find. Now this is where I was saying. So after the Shahbaz Ahmed, you have Harshal Patel, who is again good with the bat at number eight. Then you have Mohammad Siraj. Now, interestingly, I have omitted Wanindu Hasaranga here. They spent 10.75 CR for Wanindu Hasaranga. I felt that was absolutely mindless
Waste
bidding.
of waste.
You
I mean, yeah.
RCB has let go Yuzvendra Chahal, and
They didn't
he was
even bid for him. Like,
exactly, and
and they have Karan Sharma.
they have gone for Wanindu Hasaranga. The problem is, I would say Wanindu Hasaranga is a decent batsman. I have nothing against Wanindu Hasaranga. I am very happy that he earned over 10.75 11 CR at the auction. Uh, the only problem is his batting skills is not really of a basher. He is a fantastic, number seven, number eight kind of a batsman. He is not a finisher by any means. He is not like he'll be giving you 30 runs in 10 balls kind of a player.
Okay.
He is a classical, decent ODI batsman who will give you, let's say, a 35, 5 or 40 balls coming in at seven. He is that kind of a batsman. So
Okay.
Wanindu Hasana, and he, mind you, he is a fantastic leg spinner. But the problem is the moment you play Wanindu Hasaranga,
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot play this guy Sharfin Rutherford.
Yeah, the fourth.
And
Yeah.
the moment you do not play Sharfin Rutherford, who is the other one you are looking at? You are looking at players like Anuj Rawat, who is decent, but he won't provide you with any kind of finishing abilities. So you are then relying on someone who is coming in at number three for your finishing abilities of Glenn Maxwell.
Yeah.
So that's why, so one Indu Hasaranga doesn't provide you finishing abilities. So as a result of that, the squad gets disbalanced. So that's why I have picked Karan Sharma as the leg spinner, and of course Josh Hazelwood is a good pick for Bangalore, I would say, because Josh Hazelwood comes in at the power play, bowls at the death, decent bowler, but
And he's in good
uh,
form as well.
he is in good form as well. So I think Rutherford is somebody who RCB should pick. Um, Rutherford
Over
has been
Hasaranga.
right, because Rutherford provides you with a couple of overs here and there as well. He had a decent CPL.
Mm-hmm.
So he has had, I think, a couple of half centuries in the CPL in last year. So he provides you with a good solid batting option. He has experience of batting at five. So I would say Rutherford over Hasaranga no matter what for RCB.
Yeah, but I think they will anyway pick Hasaranga because of the value
Right.
for
They may
at least
start with
for the first
uh-huh.
few matches. Yeah.
They may start with Hasaranga. Let's see.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Now Punjab.
Right, right.
Like, what are your views on Punjab? Like, how did they pick such a beautiful squad? I mean, I don't know about your views, but I mean, Punjab is the number one squad. I feel.
Okay.
What
Uh,
about
I,
you?
I would rate Punjab in the top three. I would
Hmm.
definitely rate Punjab in the top three, and I would come to
Okay.
the reasons why. Uh,
Okay.
Punjab
Yeah,
has
I'd
their
love
fair
to.
share. I would say, let's say, limited shortcomings, very limited shortcomings. So I think they got a number of very value buys in terms of Shikhar Dhawan. Shikhar
I
Dhawan gives
mean,
you
what I meant
500
is that
runs each season.
they had the. I feel they had the best auction day.
Hmm.
I feel so.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, because
Ha.
if you look at the previous auctions that Punjab took part,
Hmm.
and if you look at this auction, I feel they had the best auction day.
Right. Absolutely. The only problem I have had with Punjab is consistency, as far as so I would hope.
Selecting the team. Yeah,
Right, as well as the captain. So I
as well as
hope
captain.
they would stick to a captain and stick to that captain and squad only going ahead from here on, because they have a fantastic core to rely on.
All right. So we'll
Right,
quickly move to the number to the playing
Let's
11. The
move to
prediction.
the right.
Johnny Bairstow opens with Shikhar Dhawan.
Shikhar Dhawan. I would say
Interestingly,
this is, uh,
he's not the captain, not your captain. Shikhar Dhawan.
Shikhar Dhawan is not my captain because Shikhar Dhawan is at a stage of his career, I think, where he's enjoying his game. He is not really looking at a national comeback until and unless something, let's say, remarkable happens. He is not playing the T20 World Cup this year. He's not playing the 2023 World Cup, obviously. So Shikhar Dhawan is enjoying his game. He has still 3 years of IPL left in him. So
Okay.
he would be a fantastic, let's say, part of the leadership group. But I would say he's not somebody whom I would definitely want in my playing 11 going. I mean,
As a
in
captain.
as a
As a
captain
captain.
going ahead.
Yeah.
So for me, Mayank Agarwal comes in at three because Johnny Bairstow and Shikhar Dhawan gives me that left-right combination, and both of them are explosive batsmen and
Okay.
can exploit the power play. So now you have the I would say, explosive middle order of Punjab.
Yes.
After the top three, you have Liam Livingstone, Shah
And
Rukh
Shah Rukh
Khan,
Khan.
and Odion Smith.
And Odin Smith. I mean,
So I would definitely think that
all right. We'll
this
quickly
squad,
show the playing 11.
remaining
Yeah.
ones. So Livingstone, Shah Rukh Khan, and Odin Smith. These can go ahead, and actually Punjab can go ahead and create the record for maximum sixes this season, because all three of these are
Six hitters.
fantastic
Big
players,
hitters.
big
Big
hitters.
hitters.
Then you have the number 7 position. Rishi Dhawan has been having a fantastic Vijay Hazare and a Syed Mushtaq Ali. So
Yes, I've been
he has
following that.
scored.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is in batting form. He is in bowling form. He is scoring tons of runs for Himachal Pradesh. So
Okay.
I would have Rishi Dhawan or Harpreet Brar. Harpreet Brar, mind you, closed a couple of very tense matches for Punjab in the last season, coming in at 8. So I think he has
Hmm.
decent batting abilities. I would play either Rishi Dhawan or Harpreet Brar depending on the pitch. If you need an additional seamer, it would be Rishi Dhawan. If you need an additional spinner, it will be Harpreet Brar. Then
Okay.
we have Rabada at 8. So Rabada is the leader of the bowling attack as far as pace bowling attack. Then you
Okay.
have Rahul Chahar. He'll be the leader of the spin bowling attack. Then you
Hmm.
have Arshdeep Singh, who has impressed me a lot in the last season with his death over skills. And then we have the quintessential Sandeep Sharma,
Sandeep Sharma.
who right,
I mean,
who swings it
they
around in the
got
power.
him for 50, I think 50, 60, 50 lakhs. I think they got him for.
Right. I think Sandeep Sharma is pretty underrated. The only reason is he's not a slog overs bowler, but
Yes.
he's a bowler who can give you let's say a power play wicket in 12 matches out of 14 if he plays. So he's I would say a good choice for
Hmm.
Punjab. So this is the playing 11, and I am more or less very happy with this playing 11. Much better than all the Punjab seasons that they assimilated.
So
They
where are your
have
concerns?
my only concern is the biggest strength that I was talking about is the middle order. Liam Livingstone is a player who has done very well around the world,
Okay.
um, but yet to prove his mettle to the fullest in the IPL. Shah Rukh Khan again has performed very well last season in the IPL. Has played some responsible innings, but was yet to realize his full potential. And then you have Odion Smith, who is yet to make practically his IPL debut. So these three, while being your biggest strengths, you would want either one of these three to have a 400 run season, and then only Punjab goes to these playoffs. So if
Okay.
either of these three is not having a 400 run season, then I would say it becomes a bit of a problem for Punjab because the backups are not very strong as far as the Punjab squad goes.
Okay, I get your point. But then again, if cumulatively they can perform, I mean, equally good,
Mhm.
then like one of them, yeah, you're right. One of them need to have a good batting. Like they need to be in the top five of the purple cap. Sorry, the
I'm not
orange cap.
orange
Orange
cap,
cap.
right? I'm okay with top 5, top 10 because they are mind you, they're coming in later. So we are talking about 4,
Okay,
5, 6
they're
who will
getting
typically be coming in
they're getting less number
after
of
the
overs.
10th
Yeah.
over. So I would say if any one of them goes on to have a 400 run season, Punjab is
Hmm.
going to the playoffs. If Because I am specifically hopeful about Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan, I feel Shah Rukh Khan has a Yusuf Pathan like presence on the crease. And he, in terms of effectiveness, in terms of responsibility, it is just not slam bang kind of cricket that Shah Rukh Khan plays. He's a responsible player who is aggressive. So, according to me, he is the guy to watch out for. And Livingstone and
He
Odion Smith, we
definitely is. I mean, he definitely, like everyone is looking for Shah Rukh Khan. Like the way he played in the Tamil Nadu, I think the Tamil
yeah,
Nadu Premier League was
right.
fantastic. It was
In fact, he
fantastic.
finished off Vijay Hazare with a six.
Yeah, yeah. The
Uh,
visa. Yeah. I mean,
right.
he is good. He is good. Very good.
Yeah. I would be very. I mean, I'd be looking forward to Shah Rukh's abilities, and I'm very surprised. I thought Shah Rukh would be going for a much higher premium as to what he went for. I thought teams would be willing to bid much higher for Shah Rukh
I was
because.
just coming to this because I mean, first of all, I'm a KKR fan. So why not Shah Rukh Khan in the squad? Why didn't they go for him? They didn't go for him. That's a
That is something that I am also let's say skeptical about. In fact, I expected because see Indian finishers are just not there. This is something that we need to keep in mind. That is the reason why, let's say, the Indian national team is also trying their this 6-7 role with Venkatesh Iyer. Then they're having trying to place fit Sky in that kind of a role. But Indian finishers are they are just not there after Hardik Pandya's injury. So Shah Rukh Khan in KKR is something I would say, rather than spending that high on somebody like a Nitish Rana, KKR could have gone for this thing, Shah Rukh Khan. But at the end of the entire discussion, I would tell you a very interesting, let's say, point about what I
Fact.
about something I came across
Okay.
about how the franchisee's psyche works in terms of selecting players. So
All right.
after we are done
We'll
with all the 10 teams, we would go ahead. So
we'll
right,
move to the next team, which is Chennai.
right.
So Chennai was trying to
Chennai was
pick,
trying to repeat their strategy. So basically, I feel Chennai is like
which is good. I mean, if you
uh,
believe in the strategy, and if and it they were the champions, I mean,
mhm. Right,
it
right.
is
In
good.
fact, so I always feel that Chennai is the kind of team which
Hmm.
who played one master stroke in 2008 of picking MSD,
MSDP. Oh my God.
and then they have gone all out in backing him. Even today, even when he's let's say he has finished his international cricket,
Hmm.
he they back him and they back his decision making abilities even in selecting the team. So there
I
are
mean,
so
He's going always going to be there in CSK,
right, right,
even
absolutely,
after his playing days.
absolutely. So in fact, let's go to the playing 11. I think we can have a
Yeah.
more this thing
Ruturaj
discussion.
Gaikwad, Devon
So I
Conway,
think buy of the auction, by all means, was
Devon
Devon Conway.
Conway, Devon
I
Conway.
am just shocked that this guy
I
has
feel,
around a
I feel
50 average.
no other team did research on on him probably. I mean, they
It
just
it
skipped Devon Conway. I feel
it's
so.
it's amazing. This guy has had some I think around a 40-50 average in international T20 cricket. He's a I mean more than decent in I mean wicket keeper. So you have while you franchises are willing to play for as high as 10 11 cr for let's say a Nicholas Puran, or even a 6 7 cr for QDK. We are seeing Devon Conway going for 1 CR. That's I would say that's the buy of the auction for CSK. Then we have obviously Moeen Ali, the retained one. This succeeded very well for CSK last season. Now
Uthappa and
number
Raidu, either
right,
of them.
this
Yeah.
this number four is the Raina spot where CSK will
Yes.
be trying to fit in either Uthappa or Raidu. I don't know how both of them will perform. They are past their primes. They are not played a lot of cricket. So let's move ahead
Apart
to
from IPL, yeah.
right, right. Then we
Shivam
have
Dubey,
Shivam Dube, Ravindra Jadeja, and
so
MS Dhoni.
MSD.
Right. So let's so now look at the top seven of CSK. Of course, we have got MS Dhoni to wield his magic. So, but on paper, what I feel is CSK except Devon Conway
Okay.
and partly Ruturaj Gaikwad. Okay, so except the opening pair,
Hmm.
so you have the middle order, which is composed of
Hmm.
Moeen Ali, who is susceptible against the short ball. You have Raidu, who has not played international cricket and is susceptible against genuine pace and swing. You have got Shivam Dube, who nicks to the wicketkeeper on the outswinger. You have got Ravindra Jadeja, who is a fantastic, let's say, spin player, but finds it difficult. MS Dhoni, nothing to say about him. We don't know what he'll be up to this IPL, but you will see a pattern emerging in this middle order. This team, at least on paper, looks to me is susceptible against genuine pace. So
Genuine,
if
yeah.
when they are facing somebody like a Rabada and NGD, Lungi NGD against Delhi Capitals, let's say, or let us say they are facing somebody like a
Not
Pat
yet.
Cummins and Umesh Yadav, right, for KKR. So these might have trouble. That's what I would say. But then again, you never know
You
with
never know
CSK.
with CSK, yeah. I was just about to say that.
Right, right. You never know with CSK, but on the paper, that is one glaring problem that I find with the CSK squad. Right, moving
Okay.
ahead, we have DJ Bravo at 8. So they went hard for Bravo at number. So they would want that is their designated death bowler. I don't know how well he'll deliver. Let's say he's out of international practice. He's not playing league cricket very frequently, so I have Chris Jordan as a backup. I think Jordan, by pure logic, would be more effective in that position. Then we have,
Okay.
of course, Deepak Chahar, provided he is fit.
Yeah, Deepak Chahar. Yeah.
Uh,
What if
and
he is not? Okay, we'll come to that later. Then we have Tushar Deshpande. This is a good pick.
Tushar Deshpande, well, I would say, ठीक है. It's
No, I
a
mean,
decent
good pick
option.
in the way that CSK went for him.
Hmm. Right.
They got
The
him.
Right, right, absolutely. So then you have Adam Milne to cap it. Now the problem, there are a few things that I see with this CSK. So of course, something that turns up immediately from CSK, very much as per CSK template, they have batting till number 8. Deepak Chahar
Yes.
bat comes in at They have batting till number 8. Then
Number nine, you can say. I mean, Deepak Chahar
right,
is a good bat.
Deshpande, even Tushar Deshpande is good. So you have Deepak Chahar
Okay.
at 9. So right, right. So till number 9 they have batsmen. So they have 9 solid batsmen. Then you have bowling in the form of Ravindra Jadeja, Shivam Dube up there, Moin Ali. So you have 3 bowlers, full bowlers,
Hmm.
and then you have the 4 full-time bowlers. So then again, 7 bowlers, right? Going ahead. So they have 9 batsmen, 7 bowlers, very much of the MSD template, so to say. So
Okay.
that is something I prefer a lot for a T20 scenario. Gives the captain the flexibility. Of course, this is the MSG template, and you can see it from the playing 11. So regarding the squad, I would say bowling in the power play is very good because Deepak Chahar and Adam Milne, both of them are
Hmm.
decent power play bowlers. Tushar Deshpande bowled very well for Delhi last season in the IPL. He bowled, I think, quite well in the death overs as well. Jadeja will be a containing the middle overs. Let's say will be leading the middle overs. My only skepticism is if Deepak Chahar is not fit. This squad depends a lot on that guy. If Deepak Chahar is not fit, then they are looking at somebody like, let us say, a KM Asif. They are looking at somebody like a let's say a Mukesh Chaudhary, who is a left arm seamer. Uh, okayish kind of a player, has played T20 cricket, swings the ball up front, not a good death over bowler, not a good batter anywhere close to Deepak Chahar's batting abilities. Then they have got somebody, I think, like so Asif I covered. Okay, so they have got Rajavardhan Hungregekar, so he's also facing some age fraud issues, I think. So again, I'm not very sure about how solid CSK is in terms of Deepak Chahar's backup. I hope he
Hmm.
recovers because I'm really looking forward to seeing him more, not only in the IPL but this year's T20 World Cup as well.
Oh, definitely. So can we
Mm.
move ahead
Right.
of CSK?
Mm.
And we have now look now.
Lucknow,
That is
right.
how no, that is how who pronounce it like that. Let me find Evan Lewis, I think, or the Kyle Myers.
Right.
So in the video,
Uh,
they're like, "Hello, look now."
right. This squad has got Gautam Gambhir imprinted all over it. This
Yeah,
is
everyone they're like every
absolute
Manish Pandey
Gautam
is like
Gambhir.
just at the very top. Manish Pandey.
Right, right. Because this is just Gautam Gambhir's strategy to go for value picks in terms of established players, and
Yeah,
then go big on potential superstars. So you see who are the ones they went big for. They went for somebody like an Avesh Khan. He was yet to make his debut in the let's say in the in international cricket at the point when the auction was happening.
yeah.
They
I
went big
mean,
for him.
they he made the debut before yesterday.
Right, right. So he went big for him. So if you see, this is so much like Gautam Gambhir. Gautam Gambhir back in 2012, he went big for Sunil Narayan. Sunil Narayan was yet to make his debut for West Indies at that point in time, and then we have a
Mhm.
decade of Narayan in KKR. So this is a very let's say strategy followed by Gautam Gambhir even in his playing days. Manish Pandey is somebody Gautam Gambhir rates very highly, and I think this is Manish Pandey was a bargain buy at the auction. Manish Pandey is out of form, agreed, but he's an Indian batter who is very rare in the auction scenario. So I
Okay.
would say Manish Pandey is a decent buy. Uh, so let's one more
Yeah.
buy.
We-
Okay, let's look at the playing 11, and then
Oh,
I
you
mean
can continue. Just one
uh
more you say.
one more buy who is of the Gambhir, let's say, school of things is Ankit Rajput. That is again a bowler whom Gambhir has rated very highly since his KKR days.
Yes.
So I would say this is
Okay.
again a good buy. So let's go
Mhm.
ahead. Let's see the playing 11.
The predict like the
Uh-huh. Right. KL Rahul being the captain, I think the best thing that Gambhir or the let's say Lucknow did as a team was freeing KL Rahul of the keeping duties. I think that
with
will
Dudeki. Yeah.
having QDK gives you the left-right combination up front. Uh, plays with KL Rahul because KL Rahul is an accumulator. He needs
Mm-hmm.
balls at the very beginning to let's say settle himself down. So
Okay.
he played a quick QDK will be that power play basher, so to say, going ahead. So that is good. So then you have Manish Pandey
Manish
at three.
Pandey at
This
number
is
three. Yeah.
right. And right, this number four is interesting. Marcus Stoinis, if I remember correctly, hasn't let's say batted at number four or number up from number five in the IPL. He opens for he opens in the BBL, but uh, he hasn't batted up the order in the IPL. So this will be a new experience for Marcus Stoinis to bat at four. So let's go ahead.
He's playing for the Melbourne Stars.
Right, Melbourne Renegades. Right, right, right. So then you have Deepak Huda and Krunal Pandya. Now, immediately what you pick up from the squad, you see four, five, six, each of them
Mm-hmm.
all rounders. And all rounders, not only batting or bowling all rounders, these are players who will score decent with who are decent with the bat, who will be decent with the ball as well. So good collection of all rounders. Then you have four, five, six. Then you have Jason Holder at number seven. Again, I would say a decent all rounder. K Gotham at number eight provides you with the finishing touches in cases you need that with the bat. Then you have Mark Wood, Ravi Bishnoi coming in, and
And
finally you have
Ovechkin.
Avesh Khan. Now, this is a very good squad in terms of utility players. They have got, I would say, one of the best squads in terms of all the utility players. No superstars except KL Rahul as such. Jason Holder is one guy I rate very, very highly. He is one of
Yes.
the um I would say the sole figures behind the resurgence of West Indies cricket that we are seeing after that debacle of that Pollard, Gale, and Narayan
Yes.
happened in
Exactly.
West Indies
I
cricket.
get it.
He
I
was
get it.
the guy who led them to success. So that is great. There are two things that so the number of all rounders in this squad is fantastic. You have again batting depth till Krishnappa Gautam at number 8, and you
Mm-hmm.
have bowling depth all the way up from number 11 till I would say Marcus Stoinis. So except the top 3 everybody bowls. So this is the beauty of this Lucknow squad. What
Yeah.
I would say
I mean,
is
this is a typical Gotham Gambit squad, as you'd
right.
say.
Right, right, absolutely. In fact, I am pretty impressed by as far as Lucknow is concerned. Uh, Two things I would have about Lucknow. So
Mm-hmm.
one being that we are looking at Mark Wood as a
Okay.
full-time leader of the attack. Mark Wood has had his fair share of tryst with injuries. So I'm not very sure about how, let's say, Mark would carry on for 14 matches. If
Hmm.
Mark Wood doesn't carry on, they don't have a good replacement, because the next guy they have in line is Dushmanta Chamira, who is a decent bowler with the ball for Sri Lanka. But well, I would say they could have done with a better replacement for Mark
Okay.
Wood in the auctions.
Okay.
That is number one. And number two is, despite the number of all rounders that they have, so you have Stoinis, Huda, Pandya, Holder, and Gautam. So
Are you
Holder,
talking about a finisher?
yeah, the finisher, they are relying on Holder as such.
And okay.
I think Holder played well for Sydney Sixers in the BBL as a finisher.
Okay.
uh, all of them are good players who will be giving you that, 25 of 20 balls, 30 of 20 balls kind of a player. But
Hmm.
if Holder fires, mind you, with the bat, Holder is one
Hmm.
guy who has not got a consistent opportunity in any IPL team till now. If Holder can get 14 matches, and if he can fire as a finisher, I would say
Okay.
this team looks formidable, like going ahead this IPL.
Okay. We have to see. But yeah, this looks a very good squad to me as well. Then we have Jaipur,
Right.
the Rajasthan team.
Right. Rajasthan. Rajasthan. Again, let us just, one sec. I just go to the playing 11 maybe.
All right. I'll just
Haha.
check
Right.
here.
So yeah. So Rajasthan. So the first thing that absolutely perturbed me regarding their auction strategy was that why did they pick Devdutt Patikal? They retained
I mean,
Josh,
they have,
Josh Butler.
yeah,
They had
they
Yashasvi
have
Jaiswal.
Yashasvi Jaiswal, yeah, and there is no
Uh,
point in picking Devdutt here.
they got
This guy
Devdutt.
will not be getting any matches.
They got
If
Devdutt Padikkal for around, I think, 7.5 8 CR, which doesn't sit well with me. It's not the amount that you pay for a reserve player. And Devdutt Padikkal is at the time of his career where he needs IPL matches, where he needs a franchisee
exactly,
where he can get 14
that's what
games
I'm.
to make his mark. I don't know whether they'll open with Devdutt or Yashasvi Jaiswal, but I just think that Devdutt will have a bit more solidity than Jaiswal, though Jaiswal played a number of
Definitely, yeah. But
good innings
both
last
are
year.
very good players. That's what they are
Right,
very
right, right.
similar players, and there is no point in picking two very similar players. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. That does not sit well with me. Okay, so number three, I have Karun Nair. So Karun Nair,
mhm,
I think, was the top. Karun Nair is somebody who has fallen out of favor with the Indian, as far as the Indian team is concerned. But Karun Nair had a very good Syed Mushtaq Ali last year, and he scored. I think he was the top scorer for Karnataka this season.
mhm, mhm,
He smashed a half century of, I think, 22 or 23 balls. I am forgetting
okay,
against which, but yeah. So Karun Nair is somebody I'm, definitely looking at uh, for the number three, because I would say that Yashasvi, better than Yashasvi Jaiswal at number three is Karun Nair. Then you have Sanju Samson at four. So that again is a good buy. Shimron Hetmeyer at number five. Okay, I would say it is more of a, let's say, a hit and a miss kind of a player,
yeah.
Shimron Hetmeyer. Then let's say
Rian
uh,
Parag,
Rian Parag. Rian Parag is somebody Rajasthan rates very highly. This is, I would say, Rian Parag is more like what Rinku Singh is to KKR. They have basically built Rian Parag. Rian Parag has given them a couple of innings here or there, but I'm not very sure about what Rian Parag's, let's say, success rate will be this season. But let's hope.
mhm,
He's a young player, and I am hopeful that he'll be good going ahead. So you have somebody like a James Neesham. That is a good, I would say, all-round attack. Now, for
mhm.
the first time this season, I would say
Ashwin and
Rajasthan, right? Rajasthan are
Chahal.
having a good spin attack. They were all throughout having somebody like a Shreyas Gopal, a Mayank Markande, those kinds of players. So I would
Mhm.
say. Ashwin and Chahal will be bowling in tandem, and it will be interesting to see them. Rajasthan always loses their grip on the opponent in the middle overs, and I am really looking forward to both of them controlling the middle overs for Rajasthan.
Then we have Trent Bolt and Prashid Krishna. Yeah. So this is a
So
fantastic squad. I mean,
I would say this is well, this is a good squad. Uh, I am not very sure about the Indian pace attack that they are looking at, because Prasidh Krishna, yeah, is still, I would say, not very consistent. But there is one thing that stands out from this squad that I
hmm
would point out. Of course, there are five distinct bowlers, right? uh, Jimmy Neesham, R. Ashwin,
Ashwin,
UZ Chahal,
Chahal, Bolt, and
Bolt,
Krishna. Yeah.
and Prasidh Krishna. So there is 20 overs between them. Trent Bolt, Prasidh Krishna, UZ Chahal, R. Ashwin. You bet on them to deliver 4 overs every single match. I am completely okay with that.
But
Your Jimmy Neesham is a decent player. You can't, well, you may expect 4 overs from him in 7 8 matches.
hmm
The problem that immediately stands out is who is their
sixth
sixth
bowler.
bowling option. They,
Yes.
there's they are looking at Rian Parag. That is their sixth bowler, because none of their top five bowls. So this is one problem I find with the Rajasthan squad. But otherwise, there are plenty of positives. They have. I'm very happy with the spin. As I said, the spin attack. Trent Bolt and Prasidh Krishna will give you good power play as well as slog over attacks.
hmm
Um, the middle overs will be controlled by Ashwin and Chahal.
Ashwin and Chahal. Yeah.
The batting looks more or less sorted. Sanju Samson will play the anchor. Then you have Nisham coming in and playing the finisher. Uh, so I would say this is a more or less balanced squad. The only issue being the sixth bowling option.
So how much will we rate them out of 10? The squad
This squad, I will be rating them around 7 out of 10.
7. Okay. We are
Right.
left with
So
only two teams now. The
right, right,
Gujarat.
right. I think now we are looking at Ahmedabad.
Yeah, the
Right.
Gujarat Titans.
Right, right.
They recently launched their logo as well in the
Uh,
metaverse.
Right, right.
That is a very good.
I saw their announcement. I saw their announcement. So, right. So I was going through their squad. So
hmm
for a long time, I thought that they would be without a wicket keeper in the auction.
They
Uh,
picked Matthew Wade, I think, at the
Matthew Wade and Riddhiman Saha.
Riddhiman Saha. Yeah.
It's I'm glad, because you see, new franchises find it difficult to balance their squads in the auction, because there are a lot of other dynamics that come into the picture regarding minimum number of players, maximum number of players, and all those kinds of dynamics. So that from that perspective, in fact, Lucknow performed. I would say Lucknow is somebody who outdid my expectations, this being their first IPL. So anyway, coming back to Ahmedabad, let us go to the playing 11, and then we can have when
Shubman
right,
Gill and
Gill and Roy opens. There, I think these two will be getting 14 games, hopefully.
okay, okay,
Gill and Roy opens. I am having Riddhiman Saha as a wicket keeper, because Wade just let's say loses a spot for overseas player. So I'm having
okay,
Riddhiman Saha as a wicket keeper. He can be a floater based on the match situation. Then I have Vijay Shankar. Vijay Shankar is somebody who has let's say strived to bat at the top of the order right from the 2019 Cricket World Cup. So I think he'll have that opportunity finally with Gujarat Titans this year. So again, Vijay Shankar at four. Let's go ahead.
okay. We'll have Hart, the captain,
Hardik,
at 5.
Hardik, the captain at five. Then we have Gurkirat Singh Maan at six, right? And then we have Rahul Tewatia, right? So I would say this is a good, let's say, option. Can we have one more? I think we are looking at the top seven, right? We are looking at top eight, right? So I
Top
would
8
say
now.
this is
Yeah.
a right. This is a good top eight. Uh, because you have already batting till 8. Rashid Khan is a decent batter. Rahul Tewatia, we all saw what he did to Sheldon Cottrell last season. Uh, the reason why I have included Gurkirat Singh Mann out here
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
that uh, this batting lineup could have been different by replacing Gurkirat Singh Mann with David Miller. The problem is the moment you place David Miller here, the entire batting, let's say Shubman Gill, Jason Roy, we leave out
I think
Ridhiman Saha for a second. Then you have Vijay Shankar, Hardik Pandya,
the
David
entire thing will
Miller.
come one spot down.
No, what I was saying is the moment you replace Gurkirat Singh Mann with David Miller, you have the
Okay.
entire batting, more or less the batting lineup except Saha is very susceptible to spin. So
Oh,
Shubman,
okay.
okay, so Shubman Gill is somebody who has had his fair share of issues against wrist spin. Jason Roy again, I would say is not very does not look very comfortable against spin. Hardik Pandya is a candidate of the googly. He has been, I think, he has been taken by Adam Zampa quite a number of times against Australia. Uh, and Miller is again somebody who is not very comfortable in spin. So that's why I have had somebody like a Gurkirat Singh Man. Gurkirat Singh Man is a domestic giant who plays the middle overs very well. He can be, let's say, an accumulator or a floater based on the situation. He played that
Okay.
role, I think, very well for RCB in 2018 with Shimron Hetmar. So I would have him in the first squad. And more importantly, of course, he's an all-rounder, so he provides me with overs as well. That is one more aspect, of course. Now then we have Rahul Tewatia, Rashid Khan, Mohammad Shami, and let's go ahead. And then we have
Mm,
Lockie Ferguson,
Lucky
and we have
Ferguson,
Alfred Joseph.
Alzai,
Now, immediately, what
Joseph.
stands out is the bowling attack looks good, looks in place because you have Mohammad Shami, Lockie Ferguson, Alzari Joseph as your three gun pace bowlers. Then you have Rashid Khan to control the middle overs, and then you have Rahul Tewatia, of course. So now you see, except Rahul, so these are your bottom five from whom you are expecting 4 overs each.
4 overs each.
Now you are looking at Vijay Shankar, Hardik Pandya,
Hardik
and
Pandya,
Gurkirat Singh
Mann.
Mann. So again, we are having 8 bowling options. So Hardik Pandya, I'm not very sure how much he'll bowl in the IPL. But even without Hardik Pandya, we're looking at 7 bowling options. So which I would say is
He
a is
might, because I was going through one of the interviews and he
Hmm.
might be bowling because he was saying that he is practicing bowling and he's
Right,
bowling in
right.
the net. So this is, I think he'll be bowling.
Right, I think especially with the T20 World Cup round the corner, I think he would
Mhm.
be more willing to bowl. So that way, I would say he is. I mean, even without Hardik, we have seven. Let's say we have 28 overs going into the match. 7 into 4, 28 overs. So I would say this would be the balanced playing 11. Uh, as far
Looks very
as
balanced. Yeah.
looks very balanced. More or less, you have batting till number 8. Lockie Ferguson can swing his willow. So basically, you have batting number 9, so to say. You can then you have Shami and Joseph. There are so my let's say skepticism regarding the squad would be death bowling because you have Shami who is not a good death bowler. So that's something that everybody knows in the circuit, T20 circuit. He's not a good death bowler. Um, let's say you have again Alzari Joseph, whose skills at the death is not very well spoken of. So you have Ferguson, who is good at the death, who has been good at the death for KKR up till last season. You have Rashid Khan to control the middle overs. He bowls at times in that 16-17 region, but death bowler becomes a problem out here. So death bowler is something I'd be skeptical uh, for for these people. And there is one more thing in the top order. You have 3 players who has opportunities of their lifetime, but if they succeed, they are going to knock on the national squad, and those three are Shubman Gill, not national squad. Let's say for Ridhiman Saha, the doors are closed for the national squad. But let's say Shubman Gill, Ridhiman Saha, and Vijay Shankar. These three have the potential to turn the season on its head.
To
But
prove
mind you,
themselves once. I mean,
right. But mind you, these three are out of international cricket, limited overs cricket for quite a while. Vijay Shankar, yes, he's a good player, but then again, he has not been at that level for quite some time now. So I have, so I'm. This is more of a wishful thinking, but regarding the death bowling of this team, I am a bit skeptical.
okay, okay, yeah. So now we'll move to the last team, the Hyderabad.
Right. Hmm. Right.
What do
Uh,
you reckon of the squad?
The squad, I would say, is more or less good. Hyderabad, what I appreciate really about Hyderabad's this squad is they are having a futuristic outlook. Much like, so if you see Delhi in the first 7 8 seasons was a lot of here and there kind of players. They were dismantling squads, they were moving away from captains, but after that they came along with two solid core players, three solid core players. After the core players dismantled after a while,
Prithvi
that's
Shaw, Rishabh Pant.
right. Prithvi Shaw, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer is into KKR. That's a different thing now. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that they were having a futuristic outlook. For the first time, I see SRH having a very futuristic outlook as far as they are concerned, because they are looking at players like Abdul
Abhishek
Samad.
Sharma.
They are having Abhishek Sharma. By the way, Abhishek Sharma is the captain of Punjab now for Ranji Trophy.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so he's
Abhishek
at a
Sharma
very
was like,
right. So
it's very
he is
good.
somebody who is shining at a very young age. Then they are focusing on somebody like your Washington Sundar, uh, and they are having Karthik Tyagi, they are having Umran Malik. So I am to be very they are having Priyam Garg. So I am, to be very honest, very impressed with this SRH squad, because they are actually let's say an endeavor of what happens where of the tagline of IPL, where talent meets opportunity. So let us go ahead to the playing
Yeah,
11
we'll
and
go ahead with the playing 11. Yeah.
right.
Abhishek Sharma and
Abhishek
Ken
Sharma and Kane
Williamson.
Williamson. So this is a combination with Muralidharan has spoken about. So I felt this was very good that they spoke about this so early, just before the beginning of the season, for the
Hmm.
confidence of Abhishek Sharma. Muralidharan has clearly said that they are going to give 14 games to Abhishek Sharma, and I think this
Well,
provides a lot of
he should be given that because yeah.
right. Then you have Rahul Tripathi. Of course, Rahul Tripathi, I'm very happy for him. He earned so much at the auction.
Hmm.
Um I just hope that he's not bogged down by the price tag, because he is a fantastic, energetic player. He's an impact player at number three. He plays the best when he is fearless. So I just hope that the price tag doesn't sit too heavy on him.
Yeah.
uh, Number four, there is a this is a value pick that they went with in Aiden Markram.
Aiden Markram.
Aiden,
Yeah.
Aiden Markram is a very underrated all-rounder in international cricket. Aiden Markram in most days will give you those with those seam ups, will give you a couple of overs, and he bats at four. Mind you, Aiden Markram, IPL is yet to see the best of Aiden Markram, but I'm hopeful that with SRH he'll get a consistent run and he'll have his fair share of success. Of course, Nicholas Puran comes in. They have spent a fortune on Nicholas Puran, and I could see why Nicholas Puran they have spent a fortune, because they wanted
A hard
uh,
hitter or a
uh,
Russell.
right, hard hitter finisher. Abdul Samad is somebody who will learn a lot from Nicholas Puran, I would say. Uh, I have very high regards for this guy called Abdul Samad. He's a clean hitter of the ball. I think he scored. So he's one of the players who scored more than Rana Ball century in the Ranji Trophy this season. So
Okay.
I have very high regards for this lad called Abdul Samad from Kashmir. Uh, in fact, then we move on to Washington Sundar. So
Washington
Washington
Sundar.
Sundar is a proven commodity. I would say it's very good. Now we move to the
Oh, my
now we
battery
move
is running low. Okay. We need to
so
quickly finish this. No problem.
uh,
Romario Shepherd.
Romario Shepherd, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. So Romario Shepherd is a bit iffy. I don't think he is that gun overseas bowler. Then you have Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, tried and tested commodity. Umran Malik, who is again like impressed a lot last season. I am looking forward to him this season. He bowls with raw pace. I just hope he keeps his line and length all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it finishes with
Shreyas
Shreyas
Gopal.
Gopal. This is one point. This is one weakness of SRH that I wanted to speak about.
Okay.
The void that was left by Rashid Khan,
Mm-hmm.
they haven't managed to fulfill it. They have got somebody like a Shreyas Gopal, but their spin attack is looking very weak with Shreyas Gopal and Washington Sundar as the sole representatives. So the void left by Rashid Khan isn't fulfilled at all.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll remove the power presentation. I'll just join back in 30 seconds, huh?
Ha, sure.
Well, it was not even 30 seconds. Anyway, so any other points you want to make? I think you said something at the very beginning that.
Right, right, right. In fact, there is one point that I was specifically coming across.
Okay.
So, you see, there are players like Deepak Chahar who went for 14 CR in the auction. Now, there are players like Ishan Kishan who went for
15th, yeah.
15.5 CR in the auction. So these are basically buyback players, so to say. So these are the players whom their franchises could not retain, and as a result of that, they bought them back in the auction. Again, a player Harshal Patel who went for over 10 CR, 10.75 by RCB. Then again, you have Wanindu Hasaranga who was with RCB last year, but then again they bailed him for over 10 CR. Now there is a very popular effect that is called the IKEA effect. So
Okay.
what? So this IKEA effect says that whenever you have put in a lot of hard work and effort in order behind any work, or let us say behind any any project, or behind any player, you regard him to have abilities that are actually higher than his capabilities. So let us say uh, today CSK is paying somebody, Deepak Chahar, some 14 CR, 14 to 15 CR. Let us
Okay.
say there is an analogous player who has roughly the same estimated skills like Deepak Chahar, right? Uh, so CSK will not be willing to pay that high for him because CSK has groomed Deepak Chahar from his domestic days. So this IKEA effect speaks about that we tend to perceive things of higher value when we put in our effort and our time in growing that. So I think a lot of IPL franchises are having this thing called the IKEA effect, uh, because players like also of course as I was saying, the stupendous prices that were getting up for
Well,
these
they,
players.
I mean, they deserve to have Deepak Chahar in their squad. The way they played him, like they brought him to the squad and continuously gave him chances, and the way
Absolutely,
Dhoni
absolutely.
groomed him, it's
Mhm.
fantastic.
Absolutely. So that is what I was talking about. Even for somebody like an Harshal Patel, Harshal
Hmm.
Patel is somebody whom RCB, let's say Kohli has groomed over the years, right? Over the last 3 4 years, he has been in
Yes,
consistent
definitely.
chances that he has been groomed. And see, Bangalore went for him till 10.75, 11 CR. So, in an ideal scenario, Deepak Chahar for me has got the price tag he deserved. Harshal Patel has gone for a shade higher than what he should have. But uh, then again, the point of somebody like a Wanindu Hasaranga, he has gone
Hmm.
way beyond what he should have.
Yeah.
So the reason is RCB has been invested in him for a couple of years. You see somebody like a Nitish Rana. Nitish Rana is a typical 4 5 CR kind of a player. KKR has got him for double that value because KKR has invested in Nitish Rana over the last, let's say, last 4 5 years. Shivam Mavi is
Um,
again an example of that kind of a player.
what about Tripathi in place of Rana?
Tripathi is somebody again. I think KKR went for Tripathi till around I would say some 4 to 5 CR.
Okay.
If you ask me, I would say
Yeah, they went for 4.5 CR. I precisely remember.
right,
Yeah.
right. But if you ask me, I would say regarding Tripathi, his valuation is between 4 to 5 CR. It shot up because of his six against Delhi Capitals in the playoff.
Right.
So that is why his values suddenly shot up. That is why I
Mm.
am very skeptical about how he'll behave with that, how he'll play with that high price tag on his head. I hope he
Honest.
remains
Yeah.
that he remains that lively live wear in the field, that live wear of a batsman, free stroking player. That's where he is at his best. I just hope he continues to do that despite his high price tag.
Okay.
Mm.
So anything else you want to add, or should we just call it a day for?
I think it was a fantastic discussion as far
Yeah,
as
it was. I mean, I learned a lot of things from you.
right. Thank
And
you so much. I would want our audience to pitch in with their feedback and comments, and we would definitely uh, want you guys. The best part about these kinds of shows are you guys can come in with your playing 11, and it need not be necessary that it matches with ours.
mhm.
And if we can and of course we can do those permutations, combinations, and actually find out that which are the most successful playing 11s, and how the best playing 11s on paper differ from the best playing 11s on the field. So these are of course
Okay,
things
so
that
talking about the teams, like the teams on paper,
mm,
so I'll just ask you who are your top four. You can name five teams. So the
top
fourth
four.
position is always like, yeah. So who are you
Okay.
expecting in the playoffs?
Okay, so there are two different questions. One is whom am I expecting on the playoffs, and
Based
whom
on the based on the based on
right,
the yeah, yeah,
who are the
based on the
strongest top four after the auction. I
auction.
feel
Yeah.
after the auction the strongest are Delhi, Lucknow,
Okay.
Punjab, and the number 4 spot I would uh, I would rotate it
Well,
between
there are four teams. I think.
so I would let's say rotate it between SRH uh, and KKR. So
Okay, interesting.
okay. So I wouldn't have
You're
on
saying
paper.
till
I
you're
wouldn't
saying
have CSK or MI on paper. I strictly say that.
I understood. Yeah.
Mm.
Not even Rajasthan.
No, Rajasthan is somebody I won't regard very highly, primarily because of their limited bowling options. I think this hurts a lot. Uh, in fact, the impact of less bowling options was very visible uh, in the last T20 World Cup, where India lost to back matches against
Okay,
New Zealand and
I
Pakistan.
get it.
India
Yeah.
had batting till number 7, then they had five bowlers, only 20 overs. Pandya was not bowling.
Hmm.
So these are
Yeah.
the so I'm not very confident about Rajasthan simply because they don't have a solid sixth, seventh bowling option. That's why
Okay.
not. But to answer your question, whom are the ones who I actually see going ahead? I would I would stick with in fact even in the going ahead part I would have Punjab. I hope Punjab makes it to the top 4 this year.
I
So
hope they
I would have
deliver. Yeah.
because Punjab is looking very good on paper. So I would have Punjab, I would have Lucknow. Lucknow again is somebody who I think has the metal to go the distance. I would have DC definitely, and I would have maybe a CSK.
Okay. The CSK, KKR, or an SRH. Either of the three.
CSK or SRH, but CSK just because of the Dhoni's
Dhoni.
Midas touch.
Yeah, yeah, of
That's
course.
all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Hmm.
Chalo, thank you. We had a lot of fun.
Thanks, thanks. It
If
was a
possible,
very
if
good
possible,
discussion.
we'll do more such streams in the
Absolutely,
future.
I'll be very interested to
Yeah.
have
In
these.
fact, my next idea is if we can, talk about the some of the lesser known players that got picked in the IPL, lesser known Indian players.
I would love to. I would love to
Yeah,
because I think
that
this
was my
IPL.
next plan. So we can do it like each team at a time. So
Right.
we'll each team at a time we can discuss about some of the. It might not be such a long stream, but then again we can do that because
That's fine. I think that would attract more viewership as well, because I think this IPL has a lot of what you call the rags to riches story, and I would
yes.
definitely want to bring that up to our viewers.
Okay,
And
let's plan something like that in the future.
absolutely,
Then
absolutely, absolutely.
okay, okay then. Thank you, Alomoy. Had great
All right.
fun.
Same here.
Bye. Good
Same
night.
here.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.